everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Talk Boxing. Before we start anything here, first off, a very happy hello to my friend, Chance Michaels. How are you, Chance?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Here we are on the eve of the weekend, or I guess we are at the weekend now. But yeah, it's kind of great. It's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. It's been kind of warm last few days, so kind of nice little balance here. But you know what? Before anything else, everybody remember to like, subscribe, and hit those notification buttons. Your support means the world to us. Without you guys, we don't really have anything going. So support us, like us, love us, and join us for this journey that we're on here, man. We're here for the long haul. Right, Trent?
Absolutely. Tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe and share. Share that. Tweet it out, Facebook it out, however you use social media, share it.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. All right, so let's get right into it. This weekend, we have Ryan Garcia against Javier for Fortuna from the Dominican Republic. Garcia is a Los Angeles native. Huge name Ryan Garcia has right now on the social media world. He's got over 9 million Instagram followers. What do you think, man? Do you think Ryan is the big next name, the big next superstar?
I'm not sure about that, but he's kind of like a young De La Hoya. He's a good-looking guy. He's presentable. He's friendly. They say he's the future. I don't know. It isn't really beating anybody to say that yet.
Well, that being said, I think he's on the right path now, taking the Fortuna fight here. I mean, Fortuna is, in my opinion, somewhat of a boogeyman coming into this division. He's no joke. Dude's for real, man. Garcia, 22-0 with 18 KOs going into this fight against Javier Fortuna's 37-3-1 and 2 no contest. Guy's legitimate puncher, Fortuna
He
is.
is. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Vegas has
No.
these 8-1 underdogs, so they're not giving him any respect.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be an easy night for Garcia.
Well, no, this fight was supposed to happen last year, initially stated for 2021, but that's when Ryan stepped aside to deal with some mental health issues at that time. And Jojo Diaz had stepped up to take that fight in his place and actually beat Fortuna that night. That being said, a lot of people, including myself, are on the same boat that Garcia didn't look that great in his one-sided victory as it be. I mean, he totally dominated it, but it wasn't what people were hoping for or expected to see from Ryan Garcia. So I'm hoping that, some of that ring rust is off of him and we're going to see a different one. But I think he has to tread carefully here, man. Fortuna, he's a very awkward fighter from some of the fights that I've seen. And awkward fighters don't usually tend to fare so well, in my opinion. But if you can punch like this man can, he's got knockouts at 130, at 135 as well. So, I mean, there is that possibility that this guy could put him to sleep. And I mean, we've seen Garcia go down, right? Luke Campbell did take him down in that fight.
So Fortuna's got nothing to lose here, right? He's a heavy underdog. Chance to beat an undefeated record. So I mean, it's a long shot. I think Vegas has it right, but like you said,
yeah. Well, they're giving, he's giving up a lot here too, and it's kind of interesting because Fortuna wanted this fight at 140.
Okay.
He's the one who wanted it at 140. They weighed in today, so he weighed in. Fortuna had to weigh in at 138.8 pounds. Ryan 140 right on the mark from the weigh-in this morning. Garcia is 23 years old. He's 5'8", 70-inch reach, where Fortuna has a reach of 68.5 and 5'6.5". So he's giving up a lot there as well, man, in size and reach. He's going to have to go.
I wonder if that'll play into this. The youth is on Garcia's side.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Garcia's going to have to work from the outside, in my opinion. Obviously, he doesn't want to get in too close until he can find his rhythm and figure out Fortuna's rhythm, I would say. That's just me speculating, obviously. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, Fortuna's best chance is obviously he's going to have to get into the inside somehow and work him there. He does have knockout power. I think his best friend's going to be body shots to get going, to find that rhythm and, work his way in from there. I don't know. What do you see?
I kind of agree with what you're saying. I just think the 10-year age gap is going to play a part in this fight. Garcia's got the youth, he's got the speed. Garcia wants to prove himself. It's a big fight for him. I mean, they're just basically saying, Javier, you're just the gatekeeper here. You're just a stepping stone to build a name up. It should be an easy walk in the park. It shouldn't be much of a contest. That's what Garcia's camp is thinking. So Fortuna's got to come out there and shock the world. See, he's
Garcia's like, I mean, even throughout this whole build-up, maybe not so much in the last few days, he's been focused on Fortuna, but, most of his conversations being surrounded by Gervonta Davis, and he wants to fight him next. And, I really hope that, thinking of that fight's not going to jeopardize what he's capable of doing here tonight. So, or tomorrow night, sorry. I'm curious to see that. I mean, they were very pleasant to each other in the press conference yesterday. They exchanged hats.
Yeah,
That was kind of cool. Obviously when the cameras were on them, Ryan's trying to sell the fight till he's talking down to him and what have you. But even today at the weigh-in, it was just a gracious double-handed handshake. The respect was there. Fortuna gave him something else, I think a watch or something. I'm not sure what that was about, but yeah, he gave him one of those. So I don't know. It's a toss-up because I mean,
this is just a fight. De La Hoya is trying to throw him a lob. Here's a lob. Beat this guy. Fight Tank next. So he's got to look good. He's got to dominate the fight, be it a unanimous decision or stop him to really shut up all the doubters about Garcia.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I think he'll win as well, but I think, like I said, he has to tread tenderly in the beginning. I mean, I think this is Garcia. I think Garcia can knock him out.
I think
he'll finish. He can. He potentially could knock him out as well. I don't know if he's going to be able to. I don't know what his strategy is, but like I said, he was dominant in his fight against what was his name? His last fight. His last one, yeah. Who did he fight in his last fight?
That guy was not a
top Lugano. Yeah.
Any A-level fighters yet, right? He's just fighting these C guys, C+ guys, right? So he's got to. That's why people are criticizing him. Yeah, your record's undefeated, but who have you beat? A long list with any household names as of yet,
Well, I mean, he's still young in his career.
Yeah,
ironically,
manual to go. That to go gave him a good little run for his money, though.
Yeah, to go did give him a run for his money, but he did dominate the whole fight, though. I mean, for the most part, for 98% of that fight was dominated by Ryan, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, he didn't look great. Errol Spence didn't look great in his first fight coming back. It wasn't until the fight against Ugos where he actually looked
like the real
Earl Spence and made the talk of Spence Crawford come back again, right? I mean, that talk was
August, man. They still haven't signed the dotted line. Yeah, I don't know what they're waiting for.
December or early 2023, I would think now. But I mean, if anything's going to be announced on that, I think it'll probably be announced by August, September, the latest.
Yeah, you got to use these 3 months to build the fight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like neither guy's not training. I know they're training for each other. I know what's going. We all know that, right? There's no shortage of that. So it's just a question of finalizing it and who's what. And I mean, Crawford's working without a promoter too right now, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I mean, from that perspective as well, I don't know how they're approaching it. If he's negotiating for himself, or if he has people working with him, who knows? I don't have that information. It's all kind of guessing, up in the air right now. But yeah, I'll say this then for this fight. I'm going to think Ryan can probably get the KO. I'm going to say in the 10th round.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think he can finish him in under 8, but I'm with you. He's got to stop him. I think he will stop him.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, we keep saying he's young, but this guy did turn pro at 17.
Yeah.
Right. So he's been fighting professionally now for 6 years. And I mean, I guess, consecutive opening round KOs of Romero Duno and Francisco Fonseca, set him high up in the rankings with people thinking and everything, right? It really catapulted him at that point. And I think from there, he's kind of built off that hype, right? I mean, the fight against Luke, where he did get knocked down, he did beat him. That's probably his most definitive fight. That's the one that probably people would have said, if he stayed the course, yeah, okay, this guy's an up and comer. But unfortunately, mental health took hold, and he had to step away from the game for a little bit. And I think that kind of took a little away from him. 2 fights getting one fight getting canceled is when he came back because of his hand injury, and then finally fighting to go. So like I said, he's been missing in action for a while. So I like to think that was a tune-up in a way, in a lot of ways, and this is probably the first real test that he's going to face. And from here, I mean, there's no shortage of opponents for him. I mean, you look between 130 and 140 in that 10-pound range, you got probably crop of the best up and coming boxers in the world. You got Tank in that group. You got Haney in that group. You got Shakir Stevenson in that group as well. And you can't forget that guy. He's going to move up. He can't stay at 135 forever.
Both in there.
Sure, if you want to throw him in there as well. I call him a B boxer. I mean,
Teofimo Lopez is not going away. He's fighting soon.
yeah, I know Teofimo's coming up. So, I mean, it's kind of curious to see where everyone's going to place themselves now, right? I mean, that probably everyone always wants to point at the heavyweights, but I'm telling you, man, I think the most exciting boxing throughout time, throughout all of time, has to be between 135 all the way up to, I would say, 168.
I think so too, but people love the heavyweight. They love to see the big
No,
boys.
no, I get it. It's a spectacle, but the best boxing, best pound for pound boxing.
If you're hardcore,
yeah. Is it that 38-pound range between 135 and 168? I would say those are your best boxers, and that's throughout the history of boxing.
For speed and skill, yeah, but for the best attraction, like you want to see the big boys, right? The average dude wants to see the big guys, right?
No, I get that, but at the end of the day, like I said, man, you can't touch Hagler, you can't touch Hearns, you can't touch Leonard. You know what I mean? You just go through the history of it. I mean,
I'll put it this way: Steamboat and Macho Man had a better match in WrestleMania 3. But everybody went to watch Hogan and Andre because they're the big boys, right? So that's just how it goes. It's just human nature. You look at the big guy, you're amazed by him, right? You're right.
I get it. Yeah.
At the lesser weights, I like it myself better, but something about the heavyweights is it captures the public. You get like a Wilder or a Fury or Mike Tyson or Holyfield or Ali.
To be fair, though, heavyweight division has been pretty shit for the last 15 years. It's only in the last maybe 5 years that it's picked up any kind of traction, man.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, honestly, I'll be honest. I mean,
well, because there hasn't been an American heavyweight
no, but I'm sure there has. I mean, Deontay was champion for so long.
No, but before him, there was nobody.
But I get that. But even when he was champion, it wasn't until he fought Fury that people actually knew who he was.
Yeah, we need to have a dance partner, right?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, like you're saying, I'm not disputing what you're saying. You're right. People are there for the attraction, right? But at the end of the day, where's the attraction when people aren't, don't even know who the heavyweight champions are, for the most part?
Well, the North American public tunes out for as far as boxing goes for heavyweights and American champs. So, like,
I get it.
There was Klitschko's, people didn't care in North America.
Right. But Deontay being champion for a while, even before. I mean, he had the green belt, right? I mean, that's the one that everybody seems to want, the WBC.
Yeah, he didn't fight anybody of household name until Fury come up there and the Joshua talk. And
right. But that's what I'm saying. So, and up until 5 years ago, heavyweight boxing was really behind the scenes. No one was really paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Even the casual fans, right? Right. So now that Tyson might walk away and whatnot, then what happens to that division again? Because after Tyson Fury and whatnot, unless you're a boxing fan, no one knows who's in there right now.
Nobody knows who Usyk is.
Well, right. I mean, I think he's getting a lot more name now because of everything that's happening in the country and whatnot. That's probably built up his name, right? I mean, it's just that's the shitty part about the heavyweights, man. I find it comes in waves. It came in waves with Tyson, Holyfield, Lewis, and Riddick Bowe, and all those guys from the 90s and everything. And it took a serious dip in the 2000s up until maybe 20. I would say it's almost a 15-year stint there.
Klitschko's were dominating, right?
But they were dominating in Europe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Stephen A. Smith said, so there's no American heavyweight champ. The public don't care.
Right, but when they did have an American champ, no one still didn't care. That's my point.
Deontay started bringing it back a little bit with his crazy hand, and the Fury brought it up, right? But
yeah,
hopefully Fury doesn't go away, because if he does that, you're right, your division is going to go right back down again.
Yeah. So that's what kind of scares me. But that being said, I'm not too concerned because, like I said, between 130 and 68, those are the best fights going right now.
Yeah.
Those are better than all the heavyweight fights.
The best fight in the last few years is still Fury and Wilder, though. That last one, that was better than any of those other fights so far.
Well, okay, I would give it that. But I mean, I don't know.
Far between with the heavyweights, though.
Far and in between with the heavyweights, absolutely. Let's agree on that one. But hey, I want to throw something at you here, and I want to get your take on something that I was kind of looking at. Sometimes I get bored, man. And when I get bored, I start looking at numbers and stats and, boxers and whatnot. Just so listeners know, I do not have a lot of free time, but when I do have free time, this is all I want to think about, guys. If not my family, this is all I like to think about. So here's your boy, Mr. Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Now I'll give this to Floyd, okay? Take everything away. The guy never failed a drug test. He's always been clean. He's always been, respectful for his body and everything. I think you can appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So taking nothing away from Floyd, I'm going to start everything off by saying that I'm going to take nothing away from Mr. Floyd Mayweather at all. Great champion, amazing defensive fighter, probably the best defensive fighter ever to exist.
He's
Yeah.
an artist.
He's an artist. I'll give him everything, all his due, all his respect. Here are some notable wins, and I want to get your thoughts on it. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Past prime, Manny Pacquiao.
Debatable. Pacquiao was 35. He was still getting hitting hard. I'll give him a. I hate to admit it, but he. It was a
We
close
watched
fight.
that together, brother. We watched that together.
Yeah. I mean, Mayweather was running the whole night, but I mean, I don't think Pacquiao was quite past prime. He was 35. He was going on the back end, but close.
I think when people think past prime, it's because that fight should have happened 10 years earlier.
But think about this though. So Pacquiao was 35, and Mayweather was like 36 or 37. Mayweather was older than Pacquiao. Here's another thing: Crawford's already 34. So when he ends up fighting Spence. He was 35 and 33, which almost a year or two off of Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's gonna be the same thing.
Okay. Well, I'm a loss for words because I said Manny Pacquiao. That's interesting coming from you.
It was close, but I mean, I don't think Pacquiao was past his prime. He was not the fierce that he was, but he was still doing pretty good.
Fair enough. Okay, next one. Ready? Robbed Marcos Medina.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah. Madonna.
Would you agree? Past prime, Miguel Cotto.
I mean, he was getting older, but I mean, Cotto's a tough guy. I mean, Mayweather worked him.
Past prime, Shane Mosley.
Mosley was a little bit past his prime, but Mosley stung him there, and he's the only guy to make actually Floyd's feet wobble a bit. So still hits hard.
And Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, Ricky the Hitman. Yeah. Yeah, no, he beat Hatton at a good age.
Hatton looks great right now. He's coming for a comeback.
Yeah, doing an exhibition fight.
Dude looks amazing.
All that weight that he lost.
Yeah, and look how fast he did it.
I know.
Right?
I like that.
Like I still don't understand how people can work out for years on end and not lose any weight.
He's just a natural, like, God-given.
Wow, it's just insane. Past prime, Oscar De La Hoya.
I thought that was a close fight. And I know how old is De La Hoya? He might have been 35, 36. De La Hoya was in the back end. Yeah, maybe he was a little bit younger, but.
A Class B fighter in Zeb Judah.
Judah, yeah, he took out Judah. But, Pacquiao was 35, so I can't call him past prime. 35 still not bad. It's only the same age that Crawford is. I know that's the thing. He beat a young Canelo though.
Well, I mean, at a catch weight.
Yeah, Canelo wasn't
a kid at a catch weight.
Yeah.
Another catch weight, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yeah, he worked him. Yeah, De La Hoya was 34 when they fought. So I mean, he wasn't, but
All right, here's one. You ready? Past prime, God rest his soul, Arturo Gatti.
Oh, I beat the crap out of Arturo Gatti. This is one of the worst beats Arturo Gatti ever got. Yeah, Arturo took a lot of headshots by them. But I hate to say it because my second favorite fighter of all time, and Mayweather kicked his ass. He beat the crap out of him.
Robbed Jose Luis Castillo.
I thought that Castillo won that fight. If you watch that fight again, people who haven't seen the fight, watch that fight. It's very close.
So would you say it's safe to say that Floyd should be 48-2?
I think so.
Right. I mean, Medina and Castillo should have gone the other way.
But it's the same thing that Canelo gets, like with Triple G. They're always going to favor guys like investing big as Canelo.
No. We'll do the Canelo list next, right? I mean, this is something I just was finding interesting. It's just kind of looking at refereeing and just looking at bad decisions in boxing and the couple that we've seen this year. With Josh Taylor, that he totally robbed. He walked away with that one. What do you got, man? What are you thinking?
I'm just saying, man. I'm getting excited for the Triple G Canelo fight like that. I love what people haven't heard that what Triple G said. somebody asked him, a reporter said, why does Canelo keep bad mouthing you? And you remember what he said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
It
know,
was
and
funny. I thought it
yeah,
was a comeback.
no, it's great. And to be honest, and it's like I said to you, I messaged you back and I said, the people who lie the most are the most offensive.
Yeah,
Or someone who's lying, or sorry, not the people who lie the most. Sorry, let me restart that again. People who are trying to hide something or cover something up will be the most offensive,
yeah, exactly.
right? And it's a clear indication. I mean, he's marked himself. I mean, as great as Canelo is and everything, no matter what, I'll always, you'll always know that he did something, right? I
He's
mean,
like Barry Bonds. He's the first thing you think about is steroids when you talk about Barry Bonds.
yeah, but no, that's fine. That's why I said when I started talking about Floyd, say what you want about Floyd, and I'll say things about Floyd too from time to time, absolutely, right? But you gotta hand it to the guys that have always come clean,
Yeah, he never failed the test. Yeah.
right? I mean, if he's never failed a test,
Only one,
then
actually, no, Floyd did fail a test.
did he?
Yeah, I guess he never learned as a kid not to put your hands on women because he beat up his girlfriend and spent what 6 to 9 months in jail.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, that's a different story as
No,
well, right? I
he
mean,
never failed the test.
I think I'm, yeah, okay, fair enough, right? I mean, he's not perfect, right? But I'm talking about enhancements,
Yeah, no,
right?
he's yeah.
That same with Conor McGregor. He's never failed a test. He's always been clean.
Oh,
You know,
speaking of Floyd, he's coming back supposedly for a real fight.
Floyd.
Floyd, so he's got a couple fights coming up, 2 exhibitions, and he said he's gonna do a real fight. Now I don't know who that fight will be against.
Wow,
Um,
eh?
supposedly he's talking about it, so I don't know
The
if it's
guy
gonna
takes
be.
a lot of heat. I get it, 50 and 0 and whatnot. But I mean, there's guys out there with even greater records than he has. I mean,
He sells that he's got right.
yeah, he's
He's
got that. Oh, I get it. But I mean,
Yes, did he cherry pick a few fighters? Yes. Did he wait till Pacquiao got a little bit older? Absolutely did. Pacquiao would have whooped his ass silly 6 years prior, but Mayweather was not stupid. He always slowed down a little bit. Let's fight. He did that with De La Hoya
yeah,
and those.
but do you think he would have even in his prime? Manny would have beaten Floyd in his prime? Because I mean, like you said yourself just now, their age difference wasn't that far off when they did
No,
fight,
he was
right?
older.
Right. But it's just like with that defense and everything that he has, that Philly, just the way he can move and everything. Do you think he?
I
I
don't think
mean,
he would have run as much as he able to run on Manny. The whole fight, he just basically ran and hug, pot, run and hug. He didn't want to trade Manny. I don't blame him. He's not stupid. But I think 5 or 6 years later, yeah, Manny would have got him.
think so. Earlier,
Yeah. He would have
5 or 6 earlier.
put him down. Yeah, I think it would have put him down.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah,
No.
no. So Charlo is going to be defending his titles I think early next year. That's a
Oh, is he?
long time. Yeah, they've announced a fight against Tim Tszyu.
Oh yeah, I
Uh
seen. I think January 23rd or something like
yeah,
that.
January 23rd. Interesting. I don't understand why they would announce it 5, 6 months before the fight. It's kind of early, don't you think?
That's kind of early. I'm not surprised they did that, but still trying to get the hype, get people talking, get excited for it, I guess. So
I don't know. It's hard to get excited for this one right now. I mean, it's so early still. There's so many fights to come before it.
yeah, we're only 38 days away from Usyk and Joshua, so that's
We
coming up
got
pretty quick.
Usyk and Joshua, absolutely. So I mean, there's some big cards coming up here.
2 months for Triple G and Canelo, the granddaddy of them all, not that far off.
No, that's in September. Sorry, yeah, September, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
17.
But before that, though, we do have, like I said, a few other fights coming up that do have some that carry some name and can shift the pieces around to all these other divisions. But
Yeah.
we'll get into those as we get closer. What else you got there, Chance?
But that's pretty much it as far as that goes. I'm just excited for Triple G and Canelo and the Usyk Joshua fight because at the winner that's going to fight Fury. I know Fury said he's thinking of stepping away, but I think he's just building up height. I mean, he's height. Did you see what he said? He wants $500 million. He's just playing games.
No,
He's
he's totally playing game. I mean, he's the same guy who says that he doesn't even care about the money or anything, right?
yeah, he's having fun.
Well, like I said, if he was going to retire, they would have stripped him by now.
Yeah, exactly. So
They
he's gonna fight.
wasted no time stripping Josh Taylor of 2 of those belts.
Exactly. You know, he's fighting. Oh yeah, Jake Paul and Hasim Rahman Jr. are fighting September 6th.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I hope Jake Paul smokes him.
Why?
Just because I'm sick and tired of everybody saying, "Oh, he's not a real fighter. He's not this. He's not that." Well, here he is fighting a professional boxer now, and he's going to beat him. I know Rahman's not a top fighter, but hey, people say beat a pro. Okay, he's going to beat a pro.
I don't think he's really beating a pro though.
What's that?
I don't think it's a fair fight.
Well, he's considered a pro.
No. Sorry, he is a pro, but I that came out wrong. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was I don't think it's a fair fight.
You don't think Rahman has a chance?
No, I think the DAC is stacked against him.
Yeah, but he
All
Robin
the
is
stipulations, man, rehydration rule, this and that, like he's putting everything in place to make it, as easy as possible for himself.
yeah, he's kind of learned that from Floyd Mayweather, how you kind of like you add all
Yeah.
these stipulations to
It's
help.
just kind of
He fought,
stupid. That's not right. That makes no sense. Like, okay,
but
so
Jake
he
Paul's
can only
the A side.
rehydrate 10 pounds. So what does that mean? Is there a clause in his contract that Jake Paul can only go up so much himself then?
I'm
You
not
know what
sure
I
what the
mean?
contract,
Like,
but Jake
right?
Paul's the A side. This guy will make no money if he doesn't fight Paul. Nobody knows who he is. He's
I'm
got to make.
hoping I'm hoping Raheem wins.
No, I'm going for Paul all the way.
I'm
Paul's
going
gonna.
for I'm going for I'm going the other way, man. I'm going for the
The reason
boxer.
why the reason why I like, huh? What's that?
I'm going for the boxer.
But so is Paul though.
Nah, not yet. If he beats him, then I'll consider him a boxer. Until then, like I said, until then, he's yeah, he likes to participate in boxing, but I would not call him a pro boxer until he beats a pro boxer. Is that fair?
Yeah,
I'm not
August 7th.
taking anything away from him. Good for him. He's worked really hard, but you know what? All the guys that he's fought, and I don't care anyone says, oh, he fought UFC, Tyrone Woodley or whatever. Yeah, that still doesn't count in my opinion. Right? You fight someone at the same discipline who's only have this discipline. Raheem's
Yeah.
got a lot of amateur fights under his belt as well.
That's the beauty about Jake Paul. He just started a few years ago. Look at how far he's gone.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can judge how far he's gone or not, man, until he fights a real fighter.
But that's the thing, though. So if you take, I don't know how old he is, 27, 28. So you take your average 27 or 28-year-old, there's no way he gets pro this fast, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I mean, he also has a lot of money to do it and everything, and has the people to back it up to help him get there, right? I mean, it's not all just him.
The guys millionaires that can never become pro, though, right? You get the best.
Yeah, but that's all he's done is focused on the art, right? And I take nothing away from him, right?
That's my point.
But yeah, but like I mean, you look at all the guys that he's fought. Honestly, I mean, really, realistically speaking, man, come on, a basketball player.
Well,
What was that?
celebrity.
No, it's still right. I mean, but he still considers that a pro fight. That's still considered, a win on his professional record.
Yep.
That's nonsense, man. Ben Askren coming off fucking hip surgery, a month off of hip surgery.
Yeah, but you can't fault the guys being the people they put in front of him, right?
No. He's handpicking. They cherry picked them. It's not like someone's picking for him.
He's not going to go fight Triple G right away, but he needs to. He's working his way up. People say,
but you're not working your way up, and you're not helping your cause when you're fighting people that aren't even boxers.
But it's called prize fighting, right? So I'll give you an example. Lesnar never went through the amateur ranks in UFC. He fought one dude in Japan, kicked his ass. Next thing he was fighting Frank Mir. When you're that big of a name, it's all about selling tickets and pay-per-views, right? Lesnar should have had probably 10 fights before he even was allowed to fight in UFC. But he was such a talented athlete. Dana White said, "You beat this guy up, Hangman Choi, come on to UFC, bro." And he did it, and he started kicking ass, right? So I'm not saying Paul's on the level of a Brock Lesnar, not many men are, but this is kind of the thought process. He sells the fights, he worked his butt off, so they're going to put him out there, right?
Well, like I said, man, I mean, I got to take nothing away from him. He's worked really hard.
He never went to NXT. He never tried.
Yeah, Logan Paul has done shit, and his boxing record is complete garbage. He's 0-2.
Yeah, I'm talking about him in WWE, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean,
it doesn't matter if you have 100 amateur fights. If you're going to sell the tickets, people want to watch you.
I'll pass judgment on Logan Paul after I see what he can do in his singles match. Because every other contest that he's been in, he's had someone in his corner in a tag match, so his work rate has to be pretty low. And yeah, if you practice the same spot over and over again, and you can ask our friends here in the local scene, you practice enough, you're going to hit that all the time, right? So I'm still not sold on Logan Paul in the WWE either. I like to see a bit more. I'm taking nothing away. Respect, you're there.
But look at it this way. We've been to many indie shows, and he wrestles and invited in 98% of those guys.
What have you seen from him? He's done like 3 fucking moves, man.
But look how easy he was fighting on the ring.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. But I like to see him do a proper match, end-to-end, bell-to-bell, right? Then you can see. I want to see how he works, with the transitional moves. I want to see how he works with, the just the small things, the small details and stuff like that. Anyone can do a spot, man. Anyone can, anyone, obviously, but.
No, but here's the thing, dude. So I'm not going to mention any indie promotion's name. We've been to many indie shows over the years. 98% of those guys couldn't even do those 3 spots, whatever he was doing in WWE wrestling. They couldn't even do it. And he's doing it like that with ease. He got the charisma. People hate him. They boo him. He's got the look. I mean, why not? I think it's great for them.
Again, great for the casual fan. For me, not really. I like to see a bit more just to pass judgment and to see if I'm really into it.
I got to nothing but credit to the Paul brothers, man. They came from
No,
you.
no, they've done great. I'm not trying to hate on them either. All I'm saying is you want to be recognized in a sport, and I appreciate that, and I know you're putting your time in,
Well, they're putting
but until you should do the actual act of it properly, then I can say, yeah, absolutely, this guy is a boxer. He's on the right trajectory, right?
well,
That's all I'm saying.
Logan Paul boxed a bunch of rounds with Mayweather. Mayweather never put him down.
Because he's not allowed to.
That's the thing. But I mean, well, you could put him in a body shot, no knockouts. You could do the body shot.
Yeah, and he shook him up. He hit him. He got him. He tagged him a few times, right? Um, Again, Logan Paul boxing, I don't think go together. He's a
No, he's
horrible
more,
boxer,
yeah, his brother's better at boxing.
right? And Jake is the boxer of the family. He's the one who can have the most success. Um, I don't know, man. I kind of hope Raheem, Rockman wins only because for the boxing people, right?
Jake's only 25. He's still young, so he's just getting started.
Who?
Jake Paul's only 25.
Yeah, he's only getting started. But I mean, if he's just going to cherry pick all his fights and everything, then I can't respect him as a fighter. I like.
Fighting, right? Mayweather cherry picks. Everybody cherry picks a fight. It's prize fighting, right?
Yeah, but this guy's going to cherry pick every fight.
Eventually, he's gonna have to fight the better fighters. But this is his real first professional boxing fight, really. I mean, yeah, he beat up Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley. He did UFC, but not boxing.
Say he loses. Say he loses. Then what happens to Jake Paul?
Fighting again.
Do you think this is a risk, though, man? It's a big risk for him.
Not really. He's rich as hell, dude.
No. In terms of his fighting career, it's a big risk. It's a big risk.
Not really, because he's such a big name. Even if he was to lose, he could fight another guy again, right? People want to fight him for the payday. Hasim Rodman's fighting for the payday. This guy, nobody knows who he is before Jake Paul put him on the map. So he's fighting for the payday, and other guys like him will do it. The 100 boxers would fight him. Hundreds of guys, not even guys that are household names, will fight him for the payday. People just want to get paid.
I hope he loses, man, just so I can fucking rub it in your face.
Not gonna lose. Dude,
He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose.
He's super slow.
You know what? I don't know. We'll see. Well, like I said, anything can happen.
I'm telling everybody right now on this podcast, these Paul brothers are legit athletes. They're the real deal. I'm not saying Jake Paul's gonna be like Triple G or Manny Pacquiao. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying these boys are legit athletes and they're good at wrestling and boxing and they train hard. And yeah, you guys are gonna see what they're gonna do here. These guys are no jokes. Yes, I know they say silly things, outlandish things, but they're still kids, man. They're only 25, 26. People forget.
So when do you stop being a kid, bro?
Well, they act like
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? When do you become an adult? Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. You know what? They've worked really hard. I'm not going to take anything away from them. There are a couple of kids from Ohio, and they've worked really hard. So it's not like anything was just handed to them. 100%, right? They've made stupid calls and they've made stupid decisions in their career. I mean, Logan basically almost lost everything after that whole Japan situation. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all.
Yeah,
what happened there, right? I mean, respect. Let's see what they do. Like I said, this is his first real test. I think the boxing peers, to me, doesn't want to see someone like Jake Paul come in and beat a boxer.
I have no problem with it because at the end of the day, let's say Rahman had, I don't know his record. He's 12-1, but I'm not sure his amateur record. Let's say he had 40 amateur fights, right?
He had over 100.
And if Jake Paul can beat him in his first professional fight, that goes to show you how good Jake Paul is, right?
I just think that I get it. I get what you're saying, but I think Jake Paul's team tries to stack the deck against every opponent. That's all I'm saying.
Mayweather does. That's what Canelo does. They always say you got to wear these gloves and this ounces and this ref. It always happens. But here's the thing, though. Jake Paul is going to shock.
But he is in no position, in my opinion, as a boxer to fucking make those kind of demands of other fighters.
Yeah, but dude, here's the thing.
He hasn't proved anything.
Rahman's ever had. Rahman
doesn't matter.
It does matter, dude. He's A side. He's selling the fight. He's got millions and millions of followers that are going to buy this fight and watch him fight. That's why he gets to call the shots. He's the A side. Like Mayweather always said, when Mayweather fought De La Hoya, it wasn't, I have the poster actually, it's in my garage. It wasn't Mayweather versus De La Hoya. It was De La Hoya versus Mayweather. Why? At that time, De La Hoya was the A side. He called the ounces in the gloves. He called the ring size. He called the ref. After Mayweather beat him, then you would see Mayweather versus Cotto, Mayweather versus Madonna, because he's the A side. Right now, Paul's the A side. He called the shots. This is how boxing works. Right or wrong, that's how it goes. Well, people said the same thing to me. Oh, I'm an MMA purist. I don't want Brock Lesnar in there. I said, why? He's going to kick some ass. He's going to win the belt. He's going to do all these things. He's a freak athlete. He had one fight against Hungman Choi, kicked his ass. Then he fought Frank Mir. Yes, he lost to Frank Mir, but he was winning that fight before he got the ankle lock. And you just seen what he did, become a champ. I'm not saying Paul's on that level, but if you're that good, you're that good. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think the guy will ever challenge for a title, though. I'll say that much.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm not saying he's going to beat Canelo or Triple G, but he's going to beat some of these kind of ramen guys. He's going to beat them silly. The low level boxer guy, he'll beat him.
Well, we'll find out, man. I mean, that's probably the next one. So July we have Ryan.
Like CM Punk, guy never fought in his life. When UFC looked terrible, absolutely terrible. Well, at least Paul's legitimate. You know what I mean? Punk lists look like.
I don't see how you can keep saying he's legitimate. You can, I can justify you saying he's legitimate after he wins this fight if he wins.
Well,
until then, he's not legitimate.
But here's the thing,
he's
though.
Not a legitimate fighter, bro.
UFC champ and badass.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not fighters. They're not boxers. Until he, okay, like you said, if he beats Hasim Rahman Jr., then I will call him legitimate, a legitimate boxer. Until then, he's not legitimate.
Yeah, but if you're saying he's not legitimate, how does he beat Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley then?
Because they're not boxers. Because all he did is focus on boxing. I'm not saying that he's not a bad boxer. They're dirty fighters, man. They're wrestlers. They're both fucking wrestlers.
Boxing has been 5 years old, dude.
They can all train that, but if you're not focusing on it, like wrestling was his forte. It's kind of like, okay, it's like this. It's like this. It's like you focus on jiu-jitsu, but you do, little boxing on the side. Doesn't make you a boxer.
Well, what do you consider Jake Paul then? If he beat up Tyrone Woodley twice and Askren, what are those guys considered then?
They're MMA athletes or wrestlers. Wrestlers and MMA guys.
Dude, MMA guys can still throw punches though.
Yeah, but they're dirty boxers, man. It's not legit. I mean, that's why most guys who go into the ring as MMA guys as a boxing usually come out at the wrong end.
Well, I get it, but remember something. He's only been training 2 years. He's been training since he's been 5 years old. He's only been training a couple of years.
No, I get it, but he's been really focusing on his training on boxing, on that single art form, right?
Exactly. That goes to show you how talented he is. In 2 years, he's
but how can he base his talent? How can you say he's so talented based on the people that he's beaten?
Because he beat up former UFC champs.
Doesn't matter, man. And until, like I said, great, he beat a UFC champ. Okay, fine, I get it.
99% of the people will get smoked by Tyrone Woodley in a boxing match. Even if you take my next door neighbor who's 25, he wants to go train the boxing for 2 years. Tyrone Woodley beat the.
Okay, Tyrone Woodley beat Tommy Fury, who's a professional boxer.
No, it's too big of a height. Too much weight.
Why? It's about the same size as Jake Paul and him were.
No, dude, Tyrone.
Yeah. Jake Paul and him are pretty much the same size.
There's a bit of a gap, but yeah. Woodley, I don't know. He might.
Woodley's little, right? That's all. Look, we can argue all day. We're not going to agree.
You're saying he's not legitimate. So what are Woodley?
Yeah, they're athletes, but they're not boxers. Legitimate. Okay, if he was fighting MMA, if he had stepped into the arena of MMA and fought those guys and won, yeah, he's legitimate in that sport. He's not legitimate in boxing, in my opinion, until he fights an actual boxer, a guy that just focused on that discipline only. Nothing else. Huh? Well, Brock Lesnar was a wrestler going into MMA. MMA is different.
Never punched in the face before.
Most wrestlers don't until they go to MMA. Look at that new guy right now. Look at the guy they just signed right now. The guy from American Top Team, the guy with the red hair. I can't remember his name, but this guy's like top tier wrestler, right? And he's only learning how to punch now, right? But when Brock went into the UFC, he had one fight, and the first fight that he had was a championship fight, which he lost because of a rookie mistake.
No. That was a second fight. His first fight was Hungman.
Right. His second fight, right. But his second fight, he lost because of a rookie mistake. He got over anxious or over rambunctious and overstepped where he should have gone. And he learned from that and he got better. Great. Exactly. I get that. Right. But MMA is different.
Do it.
Right. But MMA is different in that sense, right? Boxing is a separate discipline just focused on striking. Right? MMA is a combination of everything. You can be a boxer and go into MMA as Clarissa Shields did. You can be a kickboxer like Israel Adesanya and go into MMA.
Yeah, but how
right?
much in the population can do what Jake Paul did? 1%, if that. That's what I'm saying. This guy's a legit, freaky, scary athlete. I'm not saying he's Canelo, but I'm telling you, for him to do what he's done in 2 years, he's only 25.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away. All I'm saying is until he fights an actual boxer, then I'll acknowledge him as a boxer. Until then, he's just there as boxer,
He's gonna be
boxing.
around for many years, man. He's a real deal.
Not bad. Maybe in your opinion, I disagree. I think his work ethic is real. I think his ability to attract people is real. I think his the way he's approaching it is real, and I'm giving him nothing but props for all of that. All I'm saying is, man, if he has to beat Rockman, in my opinion, to become a legitimate fighter, to be considered a legitimate boxer. We're doing a boxing podcast. We talk about boxing, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, at the end of the day, boxers are boxers. Jiu-jitsu guys are jiu-jitsu guys, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But pardon me.
But it's prize
But but
fighting.
but I get it, dude. I'm not talking about anything. Let's take all of that out of the
You're
equation. Let's just
saying
talk
you're not
about the
giving him. You
two.
don't think he's a boxer, but I'm telling you, I think he is. We'll find out who was right on August 7th. This fight's on the
No, no,
6th.
no, no. That's fine, right? Like I said, if you, I don't really care if he wins or loses. To be completely honest, I mean, if he wins, I have nothing but respect for him. Yeah, that legitimizes him in my mind. Then I'll say to him, yeah, I'll take him more seriously as a boxer now. I like to see who his next fight's going to be after that if he wins. Like I mean, you're on the right path. Then,
So
yes,
he's
you prove me wrong,
Mhm.
right? I'm not saying he's not a fighter. Yeah, he is a fighter, absolutely.
Tough as
But
hell.
at the end of the day, like I said, he needs to fight a real boxer. And he did have his hand full against Tyrone Woodley in that second fight until, he knocked him out,
That's what I'm saying. Willie's got good hands.
right?
Willie's
Right. So he had him up against the ropes. He had him bloodied. He had him all those things. So, I mean, that was a part of the experience. He's experienced that. He can take all those experiences and build it up now to the next stage, right? This is it. This is the one that I've been waiting for. I wasn't impressed with any of the other ones per se, only for the fact that I know that he's been training his boxing and that's all he's been doing. And he's really, really learning how to strike. Striking and boxing is different from MMA striking.
Yeah, no, I know, but what I'm saying to you is before Woodley and Askren took those fights, they were training their ass off in boxing. All Woodley did for the last year after he lost the first was train boxing, train boxing. So he wasn't like he was just goofing around rolling wrestling. He didn't even do that. He was just using the mitts.
Yeah, but you know what? Woodley lost something, man. After that Kamaru Usman fight, there's something missing from that guy. He was never the same.
No, but you would say if you were to say to somebody, a former UFC champion, he's like 39 now, 40. Could he beat up a YouTube guy? You would who trained for you? Say, oh, he should be able to distance dummy the guy. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Paul's Mike Tyson, but he's a legit fighter. And he's going to be around for a while. And
Like I
I'm not.
said, look. I'm not saying he can't fight, but I don't think he's a legitimate boxer until he fights a legitimate boxer and beats him.
Yeah,
Right? Even if he loses against Rockman, I'll say, yeah, you're a legitimate fighter now. Right? Win or lose, I'll still give him the respect of being legitimate boxer because he fought a boxer.
yeah. I
Right?
get what you're saying, but I'm
And
happy
and
they're doing it because it's prize fighting. And Raw Men should thank Jake Paul because the guy's career is dead in the water. Nobody knows who he was. He'll never get a top fight. It's the biggest fight of his career, and he'll never have a bigger fight. And so he that's why he's loving this. He doesn't care that Jake Paul's the A side because he's getting paid. If not, he's not getting paid, right? He needs his payday. You fight Paul's, you get paid.
well, brother, man, like I said, man, you and we can argue about this all night long, and we probably
Well, we'll
could
see.
too.
Either you're going to be right, I'm going to be right. We'll find out August 7th.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
find out
But
who loses.
yeah, I love this banter, man. It makes me happy. It's good that we're far away because one of us will probably slap the other one
Well,
long.
I'm just glad because I want the Paul brothers to prove everybody wrong because all I hear is these wrestling guys in the bingo halls. Oh, Logan Paul sucks. Same dude with the beer belly that can't even climb up the ropes, just telling people that. So these
Who?
Paul are doing it, they're pissing people off, and I
Where have you,
like it.
have you heard that?
Oh yeah, I hear people talk about it all the time. I'm not going to mention names of promotions, but people say, "Oh, he's not a real wrestler." What do you mean? You look good at WrestleMania, better than anybody that I see most of the time.
To be honest, I still say Bad Bunny did a better job than him.
Bad Bunny had that one move. Yeah, it was a good move. But I think overall, Jake Paul looked more like a legitimate wrestler. He was
Logan.
more. Yes, Bad Bunny, that one move that Jake Paul didn't do is good as
Logan
well.
Paul.
Logan Paul, sorry, yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, this again for both brothers, this is a good test. Okay, you got finally Logan. Okay, you want to be WWE guy? That's awesome. I mean, it kind of sucks that these two brothers are going into the two arenas that I love the most.
I love it. Why
Right?
is it a bad thing though?
It's not a bad thing. I just think it's
This purist stuff is all bullshit, dude. Trust me. If you can do it, do it. If you can get paid, get paid. Just
No,
fight.
no, I get it. I feel bad for the guy who might be taken or whatnot,
No,
who's earned it. I'm not saying it for the guy who doesn't deserve it. Talking
yeah,
about the guy who might have earned it. You know what I
that's
mean?
the
That's
same
all I'm saying.
story that.
That's all I'm saying.
But that's the same old thing. Like you hear a punk rock band that's 50, man. We could have made it, man. We're better than the Rolling Stones. Well, you didn't make it, so too bad. They made it.
Well,
That's just how it
I'll
goes.
say this: Samp&Chance will make it. There you go. Okay, so here's how I'm going to end this here. Then, okay, we got
Okay.
two brothers. Okay, I'm taking nothing away from them. I know what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you in any aspect of what your arguments are. All I'm saying is, and you have to at least understand my point if you don't agree with
I
me.
agree with what you're saying. You
Okay.
need to be a legitimate boxer. I get that. I agree.
Both
with
of them are in this position now. If you think about it, I'm not sure if we thought about it from this perspective, but both guys are going to do something pretty massive in the next month and a half here.
Well, yeah.
Okay. In the next 4 weeks, in the next month, sorry, because SummerSlam's 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah.
And you basically got this the next weekend. So these are basically back-to-back weekends.
Yeah, it's huge for them.
In essence, isn't it? Yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah.
back-to-back weekends. SummerSlam's on the 30th. This is on August 6th, you said, right?
August 6th, yeah.
At
Is it one-
MSG. So Logan Paul, in my opinion, needs to show us that he can legitimately, like, he can actually carry a match,
Yeah.
work a whole match as a single competitor. I want to see that. Okay. That will determine a lot for me in terms of
I think
what he can do.
He's got the charisma. He's got the in-ring work. I think he'll be able to pull it off. Will he be?
Okay.
Will he be Kurt Angle in there? No, but he'll be good.
Well, let's find out. I mean, he's working with the Miz. Let's see what the Miz can do with him.
It'll be fun. It'll be very entertaining stuff.
Right. I mean, I think if he was fighting AJ, I think if he was fighting Shawn, I think even if he was fighting Seth Rollins, I think it would have been a more exciting and made him look really good. Where most people say,
Yeah, I kind of look at the Paul brothers like this. I'm not saying they're my favorite guys. I like them, but I'm looking at it like this: if these two guys can be YouTube stars and they can train their ass off in wrestling and boxing and become like this, anybody can do it. The kid that's 10 years old can say, "Hey, look at the Paul brothers. They just picked it up and worked their ass off. You put your boots on and go to work. Look what happens." And these guys are testament to hard work.
"Oh man, and you know what? And I get it. And we're no slouches to it. We understand hard work more than anybody. So I get it. I know they're putting in the time. They're working hard. Absolutely. I mean,
I agree with you though. Jake's got to beat some real boxers. I don't disagree with that.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So back-to-back weeks, we got the Paul brothers. And it's. I think those 2 weeks are make and break weekends for them.
Let's have a friendly bet.
Fuck! I already owe you a 6-pack of Coke, man.
That's not money. Which I'm pretty confident he will. If Jake Paul wins the fight, I'm going to order you a Jake Paul shirt. You have to wear it on the boxing podcast. If Jake Paul beats Ramen, wear a Jake Paul shirt for you, and you have to wear it on the boxing podcast.
Okay. If you lose,
what do you want?
Then you have to get a tattoo that says Samson.
No, I can't do. I don't like needles. Wear any shirt that you want.
No. If you lose, then I don't know, bro. I mean,
You can think about it.
Do you have a chicken suit?
No.
I'm trying to find something. All right, I'll tell you what. Okay, fine. Well, your portion is set. Let me think about my side of the bet. Hey, listeners, here's your opportunity. If you truly are listening to us, maybe leave a comment on what Chance has to do if he loses his bet. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go with that. But hey, listen up, man. It's Friday night. I want to go and relax a little bit now and sit down with little Miss and the big boss herself and have a little bit of family time, man, before this weekend gets going here. You got anything?
Tomorrow?
Pardon?
You going to Brar Fest tomorrow?
We're talking about this on the podcast?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to pop in.
Probably not. I mean, it's going to probably be raining. I don't see any.
Well, he says he's listening, so we'll see if he's listening. Why he's saying that.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be raining, so I don't really foresee myself going to the beach on a rainy day. I haven't heard anything from him either, though, to indicate he's changed his plan or if they're changing location. Wow, champion, man. I don't know. Something about the rain at the beach just kind of makes me think that children.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's supposed to be off and on tomorrow. Who knows?
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not sure where I'm going to be. I might be there. I may not be there. It all depends on what time I wake up and how the day starts for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we'll kind of go from there. Anything else?
No, I think we did a good one and covered a lot of ground here. We talked from Paul Brothers to Mayweather. We did everything, covered it
Do you
all.
got no top five from me?
I got top five for you.
Well, shit, man. Let's have it.
Okay, this is gonna be top five. We'll keep it boxing related. We're gonna say, and this is a little bit tricky because not a lot of them. Bobby Sampson's top five favorite boxing movies.
Did we do this before?
Nope,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Oh, top five boxing movies. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say all the rock. I'm gonna just group these movies together in one. Okay, the first one, all the Rocky movies except Rocky 5.
Okay, so Rocky, yeah, number one, I agree.
Right. Boxing movies.
There's not a lot of them of
Uh,
notoriety.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Mad Dog Russo was talking about that one today, actually. Yeah.
Right. You know, Taxi Driver would probably have to be in there. Um, I don't know if I was a fan of Will Smith being Ali, but I like the Ali documentaries. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. Let's lump it in.
Yeah. The Hurricane.
Yes.
That was a good film. That guy ended up in Vancouver, eh?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, but
Yeah. His law team was from Canada. It's like some Vancouver people, like I believe. I can't remember. I'd have to watch the film again.
okay.
And then there was that one with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I know which one you mean though.
That's Molitor loves that movie.
Yeah.
Stephen Molitor, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I would say those are probably the best 5 boxing movies that I know of right now. Oh, you know what? There was that comedy one with De Niro and so
Oh yeah.
Stallone.
What was that called again?
I can't remember, but they were like the old boxers. It was kind of Taxi Driver against Rocky,
That was good.
right?
I agree with you. All the ones you're saying. The only one that I'd put in there is the fighter, the Mickey Ward story. Mark Wahlberg plays Mickey Ward.
Yeah. That was a good one as well. Absolutely, that was a really good one as well.
Rocky's number one. You can nobody.
Yeah. Tom Hardy, was that an MMA movie that he did, or
Never seen it.
it was really good as well, man.
Last thing I'll say, but since we're talking about movies, make it quick. We'll add a little pop culture in here. I went and seen the Elvis movie last night.
Yeah.
You're an Elvis fan, which you know way more than me. I didn't know a whole bunch about it. I learned a lot yesterday. Tom Hanks gets a bad rap. A lot of people are saying he didn't play good Colonel Tom Parker. I thought he did all right. The Elvis guy is amazing. I was watching that movie thinking I was actually watching really Elvis himself. That's a good
Really? Okay. The last Elvis movie I watched, and I think it's fair to say I'm a huge Elvis mark.
Bringing this up.
Right. I mean, Elvis, just so you know, me and Elvis go back to the tender age of 3 years old when I received my first Elvis album.
Wow.
Live from Hawaii. Aloha from Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was a double album vinyl. And I remember it. It was given to me, and I didn't know who the hell this guy was, but I started listening to it and I fell in love with Elvis. And up until the go ahead.
What a voice.
Yeah, no, he was amazing. I mean, I know, nobody's perfect. I'm sure someone's gonna probably say, "Oh, well, he was this or he was a racist." Yeah, you know what? Everyone at that time was a racist.
I don't think everyone. Well, because in the movie they showed him going to the black side of town back.
No, understandable. They're talking more so in the 60s and 70s, like when he was getting older and whatnot. He took some flack there, but they say that I think black people were upset with him because they feel that he stole his music. I mean, if you think about it, he was Eminem of his generation when it came to the style and the music that he was producing.
He did the gospel. He bring on the black
choirs. Yeah, no, he did everything. But that's the thing. People want to hate on anyone that's good. I mean, prime example. Look how I went. I wasn't going hard on the Paul brothers, but I just wanted to see more. You know what I mean?
If anything, I thought Elvis, from what I see in the movie, he embraced the black culture more than most people.
And he did. Absolutely, he did. And this is coming from a brown man, right? Like my favorite artist of all time is Elvis Presley. I can't deny that. I'll always say that. Like, I mean,
I'm going to ask you one quick question because we'll wrap this up. I don't know much about him. Is Colonel Parker a bad guy? Is he a good guy? What's the story? Because according to this movie, I'm just going by the movie, Tom Hanks said he went to meet Priscilla, and his daughter, who's still alive, Priscilla, 77. And she said he thought, Tom's a crook, a bad guy, but they said nothing but good things about him. So I'm asking you, what's the story here with this?
Well, I mean, again, I don't know 100% everything about
What's
Colonel
your
Tom.
feel?
My feel is that he did what he had to do for Elvis. And Elvis was a grown man and he had other people there to work off of and talk to. And, at the end of the day, he listened to the Colonel, and a lot of what Elvis was able to do, a lot of what Elvis was able to accomplish, I'd say, would have still been accomplished by him, but made easier by the Colonel.
Fair
Right?
point. I mean,
Was every decision right? No. Did the Colonel probably decide to do some things that benefited him as well as
absolutely.
Elvis? Absolutely. But show me a manager who doesn't look out for himself as well,
Mhm.
right? I'm sure Johnny Grudeau's agent right now is fucking laughing because of that contract that he signed yesterday or the 2 days ago,
Yeah, no, fair enough. Check
right?
it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I will. I mean, I'm always tentative when it comes to Elvis movies, bro. I mean, just because I admire him, and I was such a big fan of his, and a big part of me of who I am and whatnot comes from his music.
We got to go to Graceland one day, man.
I would love to go to Graceland. I still, that's on my bucket list before anything else, right? I mean, I would love to
$99.
go. Yeah, no, I would love to. I mean, Elvis shirts, Elvis albums, Elvis tattoo. I mean, I don't know what else I have to show. And
Oh, you're a big time Elvis fan. That's why I'm bringing it up because I don't know much
yeah,
about it.
yeah, no, like I said, I want to watch it definitely. When I saw the cover for the poster for it, I first thing I thought, like, why are they fucking making Elvis look so glam?
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
with the eyeshadow and the accentuating of the eyes. Like, I mean, that was too much for me. Like right there, I'm like, fuck, that doesn't
I
make
know
any
it's that
sense.
movie too. A couple of the performances he had that eyeshadow on. Did he ever do that?
Yeah, and no, he never did, right? He never I mean, the only time I think the man wore makeup is when he was doing a film,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. For me personally, it's just that kind of just, and again, it's only because I'm so critical.
Mm.
I couldn't, I can't take it with a grain of salt. I'm almost want to find things wrong with it because I want to be like, that's not right. This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Check it out and let
Um,
me know what you think because I don't know a whole bunch about it. So
yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I'm definitely gonna go see it. I mean, right now there's two movies I do want to go see. I want to go see Thor, and I want to go see that movie.
I wanted to
So
see Top Gun, but it was like it was too late to go. So I'm like, let's see Elvis. I heard Thor wasn't very good, but you go check it out. I don't know.
I'm gonna go check it out, man. I haven't been let down, and I mean, Thor's been that's been one good series. I think Guardians has been good too. But
No, I'm not into
you're not a
comics.
comic guy, right? So I mean, that's kind of that makes no sense for you, right? It's kind of like me going to go see a horror film. I hate them.
Yeah, I don't like horror either.
Yeah, like
Actually,
for
I'm not even a
me.
really big movie guy, but I'm like Elvis is there. I'll check it out, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did, man. And it's good. I mean, like I said, I have to go see it, and
Yeah,
then I can come back and tell you how accurate it was as far as I can see it, right? I mean, I find that biopics are tough ones because they tend to fabricate a lot more to kind of get the
yeah, that kind of
story
stuff.
bigger. But
Totally agree.
yeah, that's it, brother. All right, tell you what, let's get this weekend started. I'm gonna go put some burgers on the grill and make some Bobby Sampson bacon cheeseburgers. You want to come over for one?
Doesn't sound bad.
We got to get together soon, bro. Just so the listeners know, the last time I
Yeah, we
saw this
will.
motherfucker was fucking in April.
Yeah, I'm going to the Vancouver Canadians game on Sunday with rain, so maybe after we'll pop by.
Yeah, let me know. We'll talk off the air,
Yep.
and we'll figure something out. I might be heading out with some family activities tomorrow. Not sure where I'm going to end up, but yeah, I'll touch base
We'll
and
figure it
we'll
out.
talk about it. All
Sounds
right,
good.
brother, man. On that note, give my best to the family and everyone else around you that you actually care about, and I will talk to you soon, my brother.
Sounds good.
On behalf of everybody, thank you for listening to us and taking the time to give us your time. How's that sound? It's pretty cool.
I like it.
Thank
Looks
you
good.
for giving us take. Thank you for the time for your time. Hmm.
Giving us your time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There you go. We've got to come up with some fucking merch soon.
could do that.
Let's think about it. All right, guys. On that note, my name is Bobby Sampson, and I am here with my man with the master plan, Mr.
In the
Chance
words of
Michaels.
Ray, you see those who download, like, subscribe, and share the podcast. We salute you.
Yes, we do salute you, and in the words of my favorite commentator, Mr. Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp and Chance. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Be safe. That's all we ask. Take care. Good night. Adios, muchachos.